Let's look at the Pearly Things situation. So as you guys know, just Pearly Things, just Girly Things, whatever the fuck her name is, she did this crazy thing where, she did this crazy thing that's not so crazy, I guess, when you consider how these right-wing freakazoids behave online, where she did the Jewish question meme. You know what I mean? She did like oh, why can't we ask? Well, you know what? Let's just watch the video. Here, this is what she did.
Anti-feminist influencers creating major buzz online with a contrarian.
Now remember, up until this very moment, what you need to understand is she thinks Piers Morgan is her friend. Piers Morgan has had her on the show a bunch.
She's appeared in a couple of debates on this show. It's called Uncensored after all. We welcome any honestly held opinions. But this week, she's facing a major backlash for posting a song titled Why Can't We Talk About the Jews, which she dedicated to far-right commentator Nick Fuentes before later.
She's like, what? The camera op did her dirty too. Or I get like, I don't know, maybe they didn't do her dirty. Maybe they were ready for her. She's like, huh, what? Why do you think this was not going to be discussed, you dumbass?
Deleting it.
Why can't we talk about them without getting kicked off of YouTube? Now, I'm not saying Hitler was a good guy, but I kinda wanna know why. Now there's all these conspiracy theories, and the more they talk, I think maybe they're right. But I can't even listen to the convo.
Well, Pearl joins me now, along with the New York author and founder of End Jew Hatred, Brooke Goldstein, over in the States. All right, Pearl, you've come on the show a couple of times, right? We've had some spirited debates about feminism and stuff like that, and I thought you've made some good points, and it's got lots of traction. Then I wake up the other day and I see this thing that's trending involving you doing this song.
Which one's worse, ukulele apology or guitar Hitler apologist? Guitar Hitler apologist is definitely, you know, it's definitely up there. I mean, it's wild, but it's not new. Like the ukulele apology is new. So I think ukulele apology still wins because like people singing about Hitler or people saying like incredibly white supremacist, incredibly racist shit with a guitar is not new at all. It's a classic even. Like Owen Benjamin did the super racist, like that N-word stole my bike song. That's like his main thing. You know what I mean? Like musical pieces from these like talentless fucking hacks that just like are incredibly racist for no fucking reason, for shock value is really, really old. I mean, dude, think about, what is it, Burzum? Was it Burzum? I mean, dude, there's plenty of fucking white supremacist music pieces, actually. This one, when you think about white supremacist music, like this one's mid. Like there's literally white supremacist music that kind of bangs in some respects where if you don't know the background of what they're or if you don't even understand what the fuck they're saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, Varg is like an actual musician and a murderer and a Nazi. Really interesting guy in general. Anyway, let's continue.
And I couldn't really believe what I was watching. I didn't know why did you find it funny?
Huh?
Did you find it funny?
Huh?
I mean, you know
that's good response.
The backlash to it. I mean, you deleted it. You obviously thought you shouldn't have posted it. Mm-hmm. Why did you do that? Genuine question.
I mean, the point was more about cancel culture and people getting kicked off of social media if you finish the song.
Oh, dude, that's such a good point to make. It's so funny. What a unique point to make. No one has ever made a point about cancel culture and people getting kicked off of social media before. So I'm really glad that she's brave enough to make that point in this way. No, idiot. That's not the point. Everybody fucking talks about cancel culture on television just like you are. Okay? There's a difference between talking about cancel culture and being like, what's up with what's up with Jewish people and Hitler, like, which she agreed with at the end of the song. So, like, what do you mean? You know what you were doing. Why is she so bad at misogyny? I know. Well, because she's a woman. Actually, that's a lie. Women are so fucking good at misogyny. Women are better at misogyny sometimes than, in many respects, than men. She's just really bad. in general. Women can be incredible at misogyny. Fuck, what was that tweet where it was like, there was a tweet I saw the other day where it was like about the casting director who said like, we casted Yennefer on Witcher as in a way to challenge beauty expectations and beauty standards. And I was like, God damn. And then someone literally quote tweeted it and was like, women are so much more brutal and so much better than men at doing misogyny when they want to. It is an insane thing to fucking say. It was like, why would you say that? Why would you ever say that? First of all, she's really pretty. Like, why did you even... Yeah, casting director Sophie Holland says, Anya Chalotra's casting as Yennefer of Vengerberg in a Netflix adaptation of Witcher was intended to challenge beauty standards. Yeah, oh yeah, here it is. It's this tweet. Women are so much better at misogyny than men. Like that's just like a wild thing to come out of your mouth, dude. You were just like, yeah, guys, this super hot woman that we casted was a big challenge for us because she's Indian. Like what? She's super hot. What are you saying? She's literally just conventionally attractive by Western beauty standards too. Like what the fuck? What are we doing here? Anyway, that's not the showrunner, by the way. That's just the casting director, which is, again, like I said, a pretty funny thing to say overall. All right, let's get back to this troll.
It was more about, like, you can't talk about this topic without being canceled by the left and the right. I don't really have a strong opinion either way. It was kind of just like tongue.
Wait, what do you mean? You don't have a strong opinion on like Jewish people dominating media either way and like whether or not Hitler was right to say what he said? Is that what you just said? Because that's an insane thing to say. You might as well just say you have a strong opinion that leans on the Hitler side at that point, okay? Because it's one of those things that is like two issues that are taught throughout history. You don't usually prescribe normative, value-based definitions to certain things that happen in history, right? And especially as time passes and we move away, we have a much broader understanding of what happened. That's why we don't treat Genghis Khan in the same way that we treat like historical figures from history that's closer to our time, right? But there's two issues that you just don't teach like that. You do have a normative way of teaching two things throughout history. Slavery, which is bad, and Nazis, which is bad. That's it. It's like super easy. You don't have to fucking hand it to the Nazis, and you don't have to hand it to the slavers. It's so odd. It's bad. It's bad. Did she run out of red pill material? Why do they always go in this direction? Every red pillar is literally just like sitting. They're always sitting at home festering, just trying to talk about how much they love Hitler, and also on top of that, trying to talk about how much they think 16-year-olds are fuckable. Which Pearl did that as well, by the way. She came out of the gate swinging, did the Nazi thing, and then immediately followed that up with a good old-fashioned pedophilia moment. In public, she posted, she said 16-year-olds are way more attractive than 26-year-olds. That's what she said. Why would you do that? 16-year-old chicks are hotter than 26-year-old chicks. Like an insane thing to say. What the fuck? Why? Why is this happening? The only person that is allowed to say this is a 16-year-old, okay? You are not a 16-year-old. Don't say that. What the fuck are you saying? Are you 16? And then also, like, people aren't even embarrassed to fucking be like, oh, this is a good tweet, I'm gonna like it. You know what I mean? What the fuck's going on? The funny part, yeah, I think it's supposed to be self-deprecating. She hates herself. We know that by now, I think. She despises herself. She has so much self-hatred. I mean, her entire point of view revolves around being a unlikable ghoul who hates women. Like, that's her whole shtick. You know what I mean?
In cheek. I didn't really expect it to get that crazy. It wasn't dedicated to anyone. I don't know why they say that, but that's not true.
I mean, Nick Fuentes is a white supremacist. He's a Holocaust denier. He said afterwards that you had dropped a diss track on the Jews, which he clearly took to be something which was, you know, mocking Jewish people. talking about, I'm not saying Hitler was a good guy, but I want to know why. What do you want to know why?
Well, it was more like, why can't we talk about it? It wasn't like
you talked
one
about the
way or
more conspiracy theories you've heard about Hitler and the Holocaust, presumably.
I'm a fan of conspiracy theory. Like, you know, people think I'm part of the CIA. There's a whole conspiracy thing online. And, you know...
Okay, I'm going to be honest, dude. I don't think anybody thinks she's a part of the CIA. Okay? Nobody thinks that. Like, I think the whole podcasters and YouTubers are part of the CIA narrative is just like all schizo posting with varying degrees, right? It's varying degrees of schizo posting. But I don't even think those guys are hallucinating this person being a part of the CIA. Because, like, goddamn, if the CIA is you know, working with this fucking loser, holy shit, they've fallen so far.
No, I'm not for like silencing it either way. The point of the song isn't like I really have an opinion on the matter. It's more, I don't think we should ban people off of social media. So far so that I don't even, like, I think it should be illegal to ban anybody off of social media unless they're inciting violence.
Dude, this is so funny. Well, first of all, yeah, when you're doing Nazi conspiracies, you are inciting violence. That's what the Nazis did. You want more people to become Nazis. That's your goal. But regardless, this is not, like, this is an argument that has been played out so many fucking times, dude. This cycle needs to die out. I hate it. The whole, like, oh, and it's been played out by people who are, like, more charismatic than her, which is not, you know, saying much, obviously. And people who are even smarter than her, which is, again, not saying much, obviously, of like, why can't we just talk about Nazi stuff openly? Like, freedom of speech. You shouldn't be able to get fucking taken out of social media spaces unless you're inciting violence. Like, what the fuck? I've heard this argument. It was a big cycle during Gamergate. It was a big cycle leading up to Donald Trump's election in like 2014, 2015, 2016. And it died out a little bit because, like, it got to the culmination. It got to the climax where, you know, there were people who were out and about. They were white supremacists. They were Nazis. And they felt comfortable going around and protesting in broad daylight without masks. And we saw what happened. We saw what fucking happened. And then people inevitably were like, all right, oh, this is terrible. Put this shit back in the fucking jar, okay? Nope.
Violence. That was the point of the song. I'm not really... It was more like tongue-in-cheek.
But just to be clear, what are the conspiracy theories surrounding Hitler, which you feel, the more you hear them, the more you're interested in them?
Well, I don't know, because I can't hear them.
Huh?
I don't
you know the ones.
you
know the ones that Nick Fuentes.
Well, I wasn't even talking about Nick. I was thinking of Ye, to be honest. I don't know why they put that Nick was the inspiration for that song. I was thinking of Ye.
You are aware of the big backlash to this and the deep upset from the Jewish community.
I certainly.
You know what the most ironic thing is? She's a woman living under the patriarchy. And because she's not hot and doesn't meet the muster as an object of sexual desire, she literally is not even getting enough clout from the side that's supposed to elevate her. So she is basically turned around and tried to do like low-hanging fruit, bottom-of-the-barrel misogyny, which didn't work. Listen, the unfortunate reality is that in a world that Pearl wants to live in, she can't thrive or survive. Like, there were better versions of Pearl that came out before her, and even they got fucking owned inevitably because the inherent contradictions of being like from being one step removed from the person in positions of power while simultaneously advocating for further marginalization for your own subgroup is always going to end up harming you. Look no further than the likes of Faith Goldie and Lauren Southern. Both were fitting Western beauty standards significantly better than Pearl. And that's why they popped off. They popped off, and ultimately, the own inherent contradictions trapped inside of ultranationalist and fascist movements ended up harming them. Because you're still a woman at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Remember that article that came out where it was like, trad women are frustrated that the alt-right movement is not representing them well. And it's like, yeah, no shit, dog. Of course that's not happening. Yeah, obviously. Hasan, what is the association between who Ruth Bader Ginsburg was and women in positions of real power and hotness? What do you mean? I'm so confused by you today. I'm saying that if you want to run the gamut of misogynistic commentary, you got to look like a Fox News pinup doll You cannot get elevated into a position of power in misogynistic circles if you do not fit the profile of what is a breedable object of sexual desire. How is this confusing? Hello? Is this actually confusing? I don't get it. She said this exact thing about herself. This isn't even your take. Yeah, exactly. Ultimately, in order to be a Nazi, a successful Nazi, you have to be a white man, okay? Because after a certain point, everyone's going to go, why are you talking? You're a woman. Shouldn't you be shutting the fuck up as a woman? Barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen?
Just posted that song. I was thinking of Ye.
You are aware of the big backlash to this and the deep upset from the Jewish community.
I certainly am now. I just posted that song and I woke up and I was like, article. I was like, golly.
Right, but are you sorry?
Crazy.
Oh, golly, everyone's paying attention to me. Oh, golly, I can't believe people are upset at the thing that I did that was a low-effort way to try and get everybody paying attention to me and upset at me. I can't believe it worked that well. Golly. So crazy. I can't believe it, dude. It's so weird how that happened, right? The thing that you wanted to happen, which is why you said those things. So odd how that works when it does.
You know, I think that, like, my whole point was that cancel
There's no point. She literally has no point.
Culture is wrong. I am not speaking one way or the other about the issues. My question is, why are we canceled for talking about certain topics?
So you would allow Holocaust deniers to have space on social media to promote Holocaust denial to millions of people? You have 2 million people who subscribe to your YouTube, right? That's a big audience of people.
I'm not at 2 million yet. I'd like to be.
Right, but you have a lot of people that...
The one thing I do appreciate in this situation is that it gets like people who are otherwise absolutely free speech absolutists in every other circumstance to completely buckle on their supposedly infallible position of free speech absolutism the moment that Holocaust denial shows up. It's a good thing, okay? It's a good thing. I wish they had that same energy for, like, I don't know, defending the Confederacy or anything like that. Like, Piers Morgan is the type of dude who 1,000%, 1,000,000% is like, in other circumstances going, cancel cultures come to the UK. Unbearable, unbelievable. And it's like, it's not illegal. Well, to talk about Jewish people in the way that you did by, invoking Hitler and then saying that he had some good ideas. Yeah, on that regard, yes, you can't talk about it. It's illegal in certain places.
I follow you on various social media platforms.
Yeah.
You put a video like that up, and there are going to be some impressionable young minds going, hang on, what's Pearl saying? Adolf Hitler? Not saying he's a good guy, but I want to know why. The more conspiracies theories I hear, the more I have to think about it.
But
I took that to mean that you agree with Fuentes.
Why did you cut off the end of the song? I said, but we can't even have the conversation.
What is the conversation you want to have?
Without being canceled by the left and the right.
But what
the point is any speech.
No,
I think
it's not any speech.
It's
not any speech. What is the conversation about Hitler and conspiracy theories and the Holocaust that you want to have?
I don't want to have any conversation. My lane is feminism. That's what
Well, you're singing about Adolf Hitler.
Can I finish?
Yeah, but you are singing about Hitler.
Okay.
So you do want to have that conversation.
I want anybody that wants to speak on social media to be able to speak about what they want to talk about.
Including Holocaust
without
denial.
getting banned. Whatever they want to talk about.
Including Holocaust denial.
If they want to talk about that, as long as they're not inciting violence, I think people...
Of course they're inciting violence. They're inciting a hatred of Jewish people.
Social media is the new town square, right? You used to be able to go and say your opinions in the town square. Now we have corporations censoring what can and cannot be said. And I think that's wrong. I think that should be illegal.
Well, let me bring in Brooke, who's been listening to this. Brooke, I don't think Pearl quite understands why the wording of this song, which she deleted, to be clear, so obviously realised this had not played out maybe the way she hoped. The offence it's caused to the Jewish community. Why was it so offensive?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on.
This is such a slam dunk, dude. Like, oftentimes it's also like the worst people that get uplifted here, like this woman. The Lawfare Project is an American nonprofit think tank and litigation fund that works to protect the human and civil rights of Jewish and pro-Israel communities worldwide. The project funds legal actions to protect free speech and civil rights by challenging anti-Semitism and discrimination against Jews. It's the world's only international pro-Israel litigation fund. What the fuck? Like, you got the ADL. Why the fuck do they need this? I like that they're not just saying anti-Semitism, but also pro-Israel. Getting sued because I said the Israeli apartheid state is brutal is fun. You know what I mean?
And for highlighting this issue, not necessarily highlighting Pearl, but highlighting the issue that what you pointed out is that we're really facing a crisis of societal conscience, where someone like Pearl, who engages in hate speech, and actually the irony is she's complaining about being canceled, and yet she's on your platform. She has millions of viewers on the internet and on social media, and she's complaining about being canceled. The crisis is that this is what is profitable now. This clickbait, this type of racial incitement is profitable on the internet. And, you know, I'm sitting here, I'm listening to Pearl. I don't know if she's just plain stupid or she's actually quite intelligent and knows that what she's doing is so sensational that it's going to make her a lot of money. But I want to say one thing. Pearl will disappear. She will disappear, like many others before her, because this is something that's just a moment in time. She's like a train wreck. It's like a car crash. You know, for example, you know you shouldn't be looking at it, but you can't take your eyes off it. But I want to make one more point. I think it's so important, especially on this platform. Hatred is taught. Nobody is born like this. And I talk about it a lot in my book about the dangers of hate education. And it's not something that we can debate, that we can engage in a rational argument with. And see what her opinions are. She thinks women shouldn't vote, women shouldn't have the right to divorce. She thinks that women shouldn't be able to work. She says these
I didn't say
crazy
that.
things about...
I can't watch the rest of this. This is so fucking boring. What do you think about this Tate brother audition?
So I would like to be the third Tate brother. And here's my pitch for it, right? I would be your big brother, boys. I'd be your big brother, because let me tell you something.
Yeah, big brother.
Need a fucking big brother. Yous two need a big brother to walk into the room while yous are sitting there in your fucking pants, right? Smoking your cigars, not even fucking inhaling them, right? Sitting there in your wee scanties.
Right?
No a fucking lassie in sight, by the way, just the two of yous fucking oiled up. Sitting beside each other in your fucking speedos, right?
He's right, and he should say it, lad.
You need a big brother like me to walk into that room and go, boys, yous need to fucking sort yourselves out, because everybody in this fucking street thinks yous are a couple of wee wanks, right? I've got a reputation to uphold here, and yous two are dragging a fucking family name down, behaving like a couple of weirdos. You know what I mean? Yous are getting fucking... Let me tell you something. You've got that wee fucking lassie, right? The wee environment lassie, wee Greta, right? Made a fucking total clown of yous. She's fucking running this place now. Made a fucking arse, a wee lassie. You know what I mean? Sitting in here on your PlayStation with your fucking Speedos on. You know what I mean? I'm your big brother and I'm telling you, go out there, get a fucking job. What even is your job? What is your job? Talking to fucking wee virgins on the internet? Talking to fucking wee VLs on the internet, virgin lips, that means all the wee boys that are into yous guys have never even kissed a fucking lassie. Why have they not kissed a lassie? I don't know. Probably because they're spending all their time trying to catch the attention of guys.
Why is it in black and white? I feel like I don't understand anything he's saying. And also on top of that, like I need some kind of subtitling on this. That's what it looks. Oh, okay. That's what it looks like in Scotland. Got it. No, never mind. Sorry, I apologize to the Scottish. I thought that there was like an accident there. Didn't realize that it was because that's just how Scotland looks. My bad. Because it's subjective like an Oppenheimer. Okay. No, I think I'm going to believe that that's just how Scotland looks.